Or I'm just going to add this. 23 weeks pregnant. So when we look back at these videos, be like, oh, that was when you were X. 23 weeks.
Hi everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to do another questions video and we'll be answering a couple of questions that we've received. I'm just going to get started, to be honest. I don't think we've got much to say. So the first one is going to be, is it possible to have too much fat and protein? Yes. Protein is sort of more of a moderate. Fat, you can absolutely overeat your fat.
If you don't let old habits die, then you can eat. You really need to listen to your body and just eat the fat too. I can never say the word. What's the word?
Satiety.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not going to damage your body eating too much fat, but you're not going to have weight loss. It's more going to be
To be fair, you can even gain weight.
Yeah,
in theory.
you could gain.
Protein.
Yes and yes. Protein will hinder your ketosis process only because it has an effect on insulin.
Mm-hmm.
And the fat, there is such a thing as being leptin resistant. Your body, which basically leptin recognizes fat when it comes in. So once you have enough, the brain will just say, okay, you're full. And which is why people tend to eat a lot of pasta, because leptin does not recognize carbohydrates. So it's almost like a guard by a gate, and just let it pass the carbohydrates before it notices, oh, you already have too much food.
Yeah.
But it does recognize fat, and it's why that's the reason why fat is very satiating, because leptin recognizes it. But there is such a thing as being leptin resistant, which means your body needs to produce more leptin in order to make you feel full and stop you feeling hungry. That usually it gets fixed with the same way you fix insulin resistant anyway. So in answer to the question, yes, it is possible to overeat. So
the way to fix that, get your macros right at the beginning.
Yeah, get your macros right and listen to your body.
Yeah, for most people you'll be fine. Eat until satiety and it'll be alright.
But you do have people that just still have that bad association with food, and they might not be hungry, but they still eat.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And they don't need all those fatty things.
Yeah.
What you got?
When stalling, what is the best way to restart?
Oh, that's $1 million question, because there's so many ways you can restart. Depends what makes you stall.
Yeah, I think the way I've got out of a stall is taking it straight back to tracking.
Yeah, back to basics.
Straight back to basics. Cut all sweeteners. Go back to using MyFitnessPal. Track absolutely everything. Being brutally honest and working out for myself why I stalled, and learning from it.
And being aware of where you are in your keto journey.
Yeah.
Because lots of different things. Sometimes it is harder to shift those last few pounds. You may need to introduce some kind of exercise or drop a food group like dairy, nuts and things like that. Try one thing for a month and then try something else so that you can identify what it is.
If I had to sum in one sentence or one word how to deal with stalls, I would say shock. Because your body loves to be in a
routine.
Exactly, almost stasis stage. So you will find a balance and you will keep at it. So you just need to shock. So go intermittent fasting, for example, and eat loads just before you start your fasting, so that that feast versus fast. And you can increase your calories, and that will shock your body to increase the metabolism, or you can potentially decrease the calories, which will force your body to open the fat reserves to expend that your stored energy.
Thinking time.
If my doctor says no to me going on the diet, but doesn't give any medical reason other than he doesn't agree with it, what should I do? Well, I would say get a new doctor, but we all know that's not easy. If you have a medical condition it's very important that you do your research first. It's very important that you try and find someone in the medical profession who can not necessarily agree with you, because that's hard, but tell you the things you need to watch out for.
Yeah.
Do your research. But I think at this stage, you're going to find it hard to find you're going to find it hard to find a lot of medicals who'll get on board with it.
Yeah.
So break yourself in slowly if you're worried about it. Do your research, join groups, ask questions. There's so much information available.
You want your doctor to be on your side, because if something goes pear-shaped, you want the person that looks after you to know exactly what you're doing. The good thing is more and more doctors are starting to open their eyes to it. Also, if you just say you're cutting out sugars, let's say you start keto slowly, and just say, no, I'm just going to cut out sugars.
No one's going to argue with sugar.
Exactly. If you're going to say you're going to cut out processed foods, no one's going to argue with you either. So it's just a case of telling your doctor what you're actually eating. You're eating healthy fats, protein, and leaf green vegetables mainly.
Yeah. Just the word keto or Atkins or anything like that.
People still
stirs up negativity because they don't understand it properly.
People still associate ketosis or ketogenic with ketoacidosis, and it's completely a different.
But even my midwife kind of semi-panicked when I went for my booking appointment, to the point where it just wasn't. It wasn't worth having the conversation with her. You know, I had read enough to know plenty of people had done keto probably, but I didn't need to talk to my midwife.
Good. Fabulous.
That question is actually quite a good one. We could spend the whole episode on it.
Yeah.
Right, what's what we have here? Do you need to take supplements when on this diet?
When I was looking through the questions, that is a really commonly
It is a common one, yes. That will depend on individual. And it depends if you have a certain deficiency, it depends how this diet affects you. You know, there's a right way of doing keto and there's several wrong ways of doing keto. My take on supplements itself is I don't think they're required, in the sense that if you're doing a keto properly, you should be able to get your potassium, your magnesium from vegetables. You should be able to get your iron. You should be able to get your even vitamin D. If you go outside and be healthy, which is something that people on keto tend to be more active because suddenly they have this burst of energy. You're starting to get all those things that your body requires. Also, things like vitamin C, for example, are not as required as people think.
I think the only one I say that we've ever bothered with is salt. Sometimes just upping your salt.
That being said, some people do feel better by taking certain supplements.
Yep.
But I would say start with the ketogenic diet first
and
see what side effects you have.
I ended up with keto flu, and you took me to Holland and Barrett, and we bought potassium and magnesium. Now, I didn't take it for a long time. I actually gave it to you guys.
You did.
I took it when I had the keto flu in case it was going to help, but after that I never bothered.
No.
I never took anything.
Yeah.
I think I did in the beginning, but that's because my body doesn't absorb nutrients particularly well. Since I've sort of established in keto, then I don't take anything. I just make sure that the leafy green vegetables, potassium, magnesium, vitamins, blah blah blah, and seem to be better for it. So I would say in the beginning, I think potentially it can help some people, but I wouldn't say, like Joel says, it's an absolute necessity.
Okay. My question is, what recipe do I use for bulletproof coffee?
Ooh.
Controversial. So, we change up our bulletproof coffee quite often. A lot of the time we know what we're eating in the day, so we will adapt the fat that goes into our coffee dependent on that. Sometimes I have more butter, sometimes I have more coconut oil, sometimes I don't have cream, sometimes I do have. So I think the macros you're getting in the coffee are important. Secondly, what you like it to taste like is equally as important, because you want to enjoy your first coffee of the morning or
not.
Bulletproof coffee is only called bulletproof because of Dave Asprey, and that was his brand, Bulletproof. But as a fatty coffee, which is add fat to it to a drink is nothing new, you know. People in Tibet does it. So, yeah, Tibet. What did I say? Tibet. So I always did it the way that I've learned, which was from Dave Asprey, and it was 2 tablespoons of butter, 1 tablespoon of coconut oil, coffee. That's all I do.
Then you can mix it up, but you can add cinnamon, you can add
Make sure
cream.
you blend it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah. You don't want that sitting on the top.
You want hot and you want it.
Oh,
He's
he's
got
got
some.
Oh, okay.
How many ketones should I be seeing in my reading? Wrong person to get this because I don't measure my ketones, and that's my personal choice. I haven't ever done
So it
it,
depends
and
what you use.
Yeah.
Yes.
I wouldn't be able to give any advice on it because I
If
just
you
go
use
with
the
how I
pea
feel.
sticks, they're not very reliable, and the reason is, if your body is using the ketones effectively, you shouldn't really be getting high readings on your pea sticks.
No.
If you're getting them on your pea sticks, then it means you're probably dehydrated, you're not drinking enough water. So the only real reliable way is to do it through blood.
Well, I think the breath.
Oh, the breathalyzer, yeah.
Answer to the question is, it depends what you're using keto for. If it's a nutritional ketosis that you want, anything above 0.5 is in ketosis.
Yeah.
If it's a therapeutic ketosis that you want,
What's therapeutic ketosis?
Basically, if you want to combat epilepsy, cancer, things like that. So
for health.
for
you
health
want to be
purposes,
higher.
yeah. So if you basically want ketones to be to be present in the high sense, then it's usually 1.5 above. Ketoacidosis, we're talking about 10 millimole per deciliter.
Which is what you
Is
don't
it millimole?
want.
Yeah. So it's 10, which is very hard to get. So I usually, when we was measuring it, it was on average 1, wasn't it? I think
Yeah,
it
it
was.
depends. Like we've been really active.
If I was
it's
fasting for
higher.
quite a while or whatever, it will go maybe up to 3.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 was the maximum that I've
That's
seen.
really cool.
I think about
Well, after-
2.4 was my highest.
We should try it.
What would lend you our machine? Just buy the stretch
To be fair, if you stall, that might not be a bad thing
to
to
test
test,
your ketones.
because
Yeah.
you may be consuming more carbs than you think you are.
Absolutely.
What are macros? Macronutrients. We've done this before, haven't we? Macros. So your macronutrients are obviously like your what's the word I'm looking for? So your carbohydrates.
Yeah.
You've got fat, protein.
Yeah. And technically alcohol.
And technically alcohol. So it's when we say track your macros and we say find out your macros, it's us working out what percentage, or not percentage really, but how many grams of each of those
100%.
macronutrients you should be having per day based on your activity levels, your age, your height and your current weight.
Yeah. Should you change your diet if you start to exercise? I would say no. Well, here's why I say no, because technically, first of all, you should be eating, I'm assuming that you already are, but you should be eating a good, well-balanced ketogenic diet. So protein, fat and vegetables, green vegetables. And you're eating to satiety,
Yeah.
which means what will happen if you start exercising, you'll feel more hungrier.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is fine, you just eat more, because your body wants more. So you are not necessarily changing your diet. You might be changing your macros without even noticing, but as far as diet is concerned, you're still keto. You're fine.
What is a fat bomb? I keep hearing about them and they sound gross.
They sound gross.
They do sound gross, but they're bloody awesome.
Some can be.
I
think the word fat.
Successfully done
Haven't
fat
you?
bombs yet. No. A
Yeah.
year in
So
now.
a fat bomb is basically another way of getting fat into
Yeah.
your diet. If perhaps you haven't got a very high fat diet day, it's a way.
Generally
of getting
they're
more fat into
sweet.
you. Yeah.
Because generally you use the dark chocolate to sort of make it set.
So they've usually got sort of a nutness, a fatness, and a chocolateness, or a flavouring
Yeah.
instead of nut.
The basics is, taking your coconut oil, melting your coconut oil down, Add in, oh God, people add loads of different things. I didn't.
Peppermint
Are amazing. Dark chocolate, mixing it all together. Butter, sticking it in your mould, sticking it in the freezer, and it's there. And then you have them in the fridge, and they're really good, especially if you are in that first 6 months. You sometimes still get a bit peckish, and you can go in the freezer and literally take, because I had various different sizes and little heart moulds, pop 1 or 2 of those in, and it's just giving you a boost of energy.
I think they're useful. Sorry to talk over you, but I think they're useful if you need to go somewhere, a friend's house or whatever, or so something social that you're not going to get enough fat, because everywhere you go, people tend to trim the fat off.
You can't really take fat bombs out with you.
No, you can't. But what you can do, it's something that you keep it in the fridge, so you can on the way out
pop a couple,
and then you'll feel less hungry.
On Pinterest, there are so many really, really good recipes for fat bombs,
and some bad ones.
I don't think they're a necessity.
No.
Later in keto, but they're definitely a good.
To be fair, I class that very much a bit like the bulletproof coffee. It's one of those things that may make you feel better. You don't have to have it. Some people don't like it. Some people do like it.
I haven't had fat bombs in probably a year.
Kelly and I have probably had 2 or 3 in our entire.
Disastrous. like literally.
Sorry. Not a fan of them.
Yeah.
Kelly?
How do you explain the diet to others? To be honest, I pick my audience. If I've got somebody that's trying to pick an argument for the sake of, I've heard about fad diets, I tend to not bother wasting my time, because they don't actually want to know the answer.
Yeah.
So
there's a lot of people who don't actually want to know the answer.
And they want to know the shortcut of how to get what's taken me a year to get. And you're like, well, that's not going to happen. And you can't give a narky response to that. It is a way of life. I don't see it as a diet. And the best way of doing it is I've cut the sugars out. My carbs I keep as low, and I just make sure, and grains obviously, and I just eat as well as I can and make sure it's healthy fats. The worst thing you can say is I'm on a high fat diet, because oh my god, can of worms are springing everywhere. Good luck with that.
I think Kelly and I are quite different. I quite like still.
Did you just call it Kelly?
No, Helly. I think Helly.
Oh, you think?
I think Helly and I are very different, because I still really like to explain it as much as possible. I'm still in the buzz of, I want everybody to eat this way, and I don't feel like I'm wasting my energy at all. I was actually at an event at the weekend, and I was speaking to somebody who turned out to be a nutritionist. And she was like, oh, it just makes me so angry, blah blah blah. But this nutritionist was selling, she had the food store, and she was selling all the greasy, carby food. And I thought, well, if you're a nutritionist, why are you not wanting to help people?
She needs to make a living.
But I just think, and so I like to talk to anybody and everyone who will put up with me and listen.
Who will listen. So I'm just going to pre-read.
I'm at the cusp. I choose my audience now only because I don't have the time.
Yeah.
So most of the time I just go, I don't eat sugars.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
Do you guys ever fall off the wagon? And if so, how easy do you find it to get back on it? How easy it is up to each individual person. I personally am not very strict at the moment, if you can even refer to it as that. Full disclosure. I'm not really keto in pregnancy. It's a lot tougher than it seems. I was far too sick and now I don't have the energy. But I very much am looking forward to going back to keto. And I feel like it's kind of freeing because I have all this knowledge and I know how easy it's going to be.
You know what to expect.
And yeah, I know what to expect. I know
sick.
exactly what I'm doing. But we were at keto a year and a half before we fell pregnant. Fell off the wagon? No. I chose to come off the wagon. I never fell off.
Good answer.
Yeah, anything I did was never by accident, it was always by choice. And I personally found it very easy to get back on. Because
some people struggle more.
I liked how I felt on it.
Yeah. I definitely fall, don't choose.
You trip.
Yeah,
someone push you off.
and it hurts. Like my face hits that floor, and I think, what just happened? I definitely. I mean, if I could just eat solid keto, I would. I love it so much. There have been occasions where I will, I don't know, have something, and I feel so terrible. I hate the feeling of not eating keto. Getting back on is easy in the mind for me, but I do suffer with cravings. If I have, if I have had anything that's slightly not keto, my brain gives me a good solid week of making me want everything under the sun.
I think that's where the common thing of what you and I are saying is we enjoy keto. So getting back on wasn't an issue. This is not selling it that it's easy for everybody. If you're struggling on keto,
you're going to struggle.
If you fall off the wagon, you will find every excuse.
I think cravings is one of those things that will just attack
cravings
us.
Is awful.
And some people find it harder than others to get back on it just because of that. It's a bit like...
If you're not enjoying keto and you're not loving all of the benefits,
if you're not enjoying keto,
those cravings are going to get the better of you.
Yeah.
If you're not enjoying keto, you'll find every excuse in the book to just cheat.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, if you're not enjoying keto, it's probably because you're doing it wrong. I see sugars like alcoholic seas, wine or beer. I just don't go near it. You know, this sounds funny, but I even avoid touching it.
That's good.
It's not joking.
I think that's. I wish I could.
But that's my way. But that's my way of dealing with it. But I'm afraid of succumbing to cravings if I have something.
I do think that allowing yourself a short while off is an awful trap. Because I still think you let yourself have that one day and you think, well, I didn't put on weight, didn't really suffer keto flu, maybe next time, and then you allow yourself slightly longer off, and it can get progressively worse.
And then those cheat days become more and more frequent until it becomes one after the other. When should I reevaluate my macros?
When they're no longer working for you.
One. The other thing you can do is when you lose a lot of weight.
When she's gone.
When you feel like you lost a lot of weight or you reach
Jim,
one of your goals.
I started with a year and a half ago. It would never work now.
Recalculate your macros as a way of checking in. To go back to basics, or to remind yourself what you should be eating.
Christmas song. Sorry.
Do you get mood swings on the diet? I don't think I do. Henny may say otherwise. I think the only mood swings I get is when I've fallen off the wagon and I have something, I'm not happy. I really, really, really do not forgive myself.
I think moods, and to be fair, any sort of brain function, it's usually better on keto. From my personal experience.
You're not crashing.
You're not crashing. You're not feeling suddenly tired or with no patience. There'll be moments that you'll feel like that, but that's not necessarily to do with keto. Life gets in the way, and for all you know, if you weren't on keto, you might be, ready to jump off a bridge. I don't know. But as a general rule, I feel keto allows you to be pretty stable.
Fabulous. I think that's all the questions. Anybody else got anything to say?
I need a wee.
Okay.
Thanks for sharing.
Thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon.
Ciao.
Bye.